Well, there was a time that I almost lost everything. I almost lost all my clients. Back in early 2019, I remember on Facebook, someone had recommended me on a Facebook comment, and there was about 3 to 5 people that commented on that person that recommended me, and they said, don't call Honestly Handyman because he doesn't call back. I was blown away. This was like, my eyes were like opened at this point, and what I realized is I had gotten so busy at the time. I was booked out for probably a month to 2 months, depending on kind of how things were going, that I was so busy that I wasn't calling people back. So this is how it went down. So people would call me all day long, and I was the only one in the business. So I was actually the one hammering the nail, putting in the ceiling fan, replacing the kitchen faucet. So sometimes I was working until 5, 6 at night, and people would call me throughout the day, and I wouldn't answer it, obviously. It would just go to voicemail. And I always told myself, I'm going to call them back at the end of the day. Sure enough, I'd get off at 6 o'clock, and then I have to run to Home Depot, get some tools or materials or something for tomorrow's job, get home, eat dinner, and sure, before you know it, it was time to, go to bed and wake up the next morning and start all over again. And what happened is I never ended up calling people back. It still haunts me to this day. How many people I did not call back? I was that handyman that I talked about yesterday. I was that handyman that didn't call people back. I always did good work. I always did what I said I was going to do, but I was the guy who didn't call people back. And that's just that's the worst thing ever. I was at a point where people were actually unrecommending me because I didn't call people back. Now, what made me think of this story is, some of you guys may not know, but I go to Celebrate Recovery at my local church to deal with a lot of my past trauma and hurts and stuff like that. But anyways, last night we heard a testimony from a gal who was basically sharing a story where her and her husband were both in a really good place. They had gone through kind of what they had thought that was their rock bottom, and they were 8 years sober. They were living back together. They were doing great. And then they ended up moving to the Bay Area for work, and then COVID happened. And then in the midst of all of that, when they moved to the Bay Area, they didn't have a Celebrate Recovery. They didn't have any recovery that they were plugged into because they had just moved to the Bay Area. And really, they thought they were fine. They're like, well, we have 8 years of sobriety. We're all good to go, right? We don't necessarily need to be plugged in. COVID happened, and a whole bunch of other life issues happened. Things happened with her brother, things happened with her family, and it just, it spiraled out of control very quickly. And sure enough, because they were not plugged into recovery and life just happened, they ended up relapsing. And they ended up just, again, hitting that super deep rock bottom. Luckily now, they are back together, they're doing great, but it's just so interesting. It made me think that, that moment when we think we have it all together is usually our weakest moment that we'll ever experience. The moment that we think that we have it all together and we don't need any outside help or outside interference is the moment when things start tipping in the wrong direction. Now, what I mean by that is, at that time when I was super busy, I was booked out for 2 months at some points. I had thought, I don't need any more work, right? I can afford to not call these people back. I can afford to just keep going the way that things are going because obviously I have enough work. I'm booked out for 2 months. Things are going great. I'm making what I thought was good money. That's a whole different topic. I hadn't figured out my prices at that point yet. But I had thought I was okay. I had thought I didn't need any outside interference. I wasn't advertising very much. And I definitely wasn't calling people back. So the little advertising that I was doing was really a waste because the advertising got people to call me. I didn't call them back. And most of the time didn't answer the phone because I was busy doing the actual work. It's a problem that most people have. The solution that I had to this problem, and when my eyes were opened in early 2019, was like, holy cow, I can't do this by myself. If I'm going to continue to do the work, I can't be the one answering the phones. I can't be in charge of calling people back. So actually, April 1st, 2019, we hired our CSR, our Customer Service Relations Personnel. And it's funny, her name is actually April. She started April 1st, 2019. Her name is April. She does a fantastic job. She's still with us to today. She's been with us for a little over 4 years now. She's our longest standing employee, I guess besides me and my wife. But she does a fantastic job. And what was so cool is when I handed over the reins to her, I gave her our phone number, I gave her our email address, everything. She does a fantastic job. She does a much better job than I ever did because, one, she actually calls people back. Two, she actually follows up with people. She does a great job. She's the first one that people hear from when they call our business, and she's the last one that people hear from when they basically work with our business. So what I would say to you guys is don't get comfortable. That moment when you think that you are good to go and it's just smooth sailing from here and you don't need any outside interference, you don't need to keep growing, is the moment, the tipping point when your ship is going to sink. It's something very interesting to think about, and I can even think about that for where I'm at right now, because at many different stages in my career, I feel like I've hit a plateau, and I'm like, okay, we're good. We could just smooth sail right here, right? We just promoted our estimator to general manager. Things are going great. I'm taking a few weeks off work. That's why I'm not dressed in my uniform. I'm taking a few weeks off work to be stay-at-home dad, to take care of my wife and my kids while my wife is pregnant. She's super sick right now. So if you are a praying type, pray for her, because she's just been in bed 24/7 for the last week and a half. So we could use prayers for that. But I'm at this point where I'm not really working. I'm not really doing a whole lot in the handyman business. So the temptation is just to plateau and be like, okay, we're good, right? We can smooth sail here. I don't need to do a whole lot of work in the business. But I know from past experiences and hearing like that testimony I heard last night, is this exact moment when I'm feeling comfortable is if I don't keep pushing to the next level, we're going to start decreasing. So it's the thought of that, there's no stagnation in life. You're either advancing or you're decreasing. You're moving up or you're moving back, right? That's the only two ways that you can go. So in life, in business, you need to constantly be pushing to the next level and to figure out what the next level is in your business. That's absolutely one thing that I love working with other people on. So if you guys don't know, I'm a business coach. I help people start and grow handyman businesses from all around the world. And I love kind of brainstorming with them to figure out what their next step is. It was really interesting. I was talking to a guy that watches this video here a few weeks ago, and he is currently working full-time, doing the handyman business part-time, and he wants to go full-time in the handyman business. And so we were kind of coming up with an idea for that. It's really just interesting kind of brainstorming and thinking about what's next, right? But I think I also need to think about that for myself too. What's next? How do we get to the next level? And I got some great ideas, and I'm gonna talk more about that on tomorrow's video. Because I've been watching, one of you guys recommended to check out the Bulletproof Handyman. So I've been watching him, and that's been really cool. So if you haven't checked that out, check out the Bulletproof Handyman on YouTube, and drop a comment on one of his videos and just let him know that Honestly Handyman sent you over. I think that'd be kind of cool. But I'm going to talk more about him tomorrow and my thoughts about kind of moving forward and getting to the next stage. So I think that's pretty interesting. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Today is October 17th, 2023. This is day 32 of my 100-day video challenge. If you guys don't know, I'm on a challenge to make a YouTube video for the next 100 business days. It was kind of brought on by my coach. He challenged me to do 30 business days, and I one-upped him and said 100. So that's currently what I'm doing for the YouTube side of things, right? But what I'm going to be doing for Honestly is a little bit different, and I'm also working with my coach to kind of get to that next level. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Drop me a comment in the comment section below. I love chatting with you guys in the comment section. And also like this video and subscribe to this channel. If you've been watching these videos for a while, scroll down, check if you're subscribed or not. If you're not, I would appreciate having you guys along. Those type of things, liking and subscribing, really help kind of move this channel and move this video to more people that need to hear it. So I appreciate you guys being here, and I look forward to talking with you guys in the comments. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for day 33. Have a good one, guys.